welcome to the Live Your Best Marriage podcast. My name is Whitney. This is my husband here, my co-host, and we believe that every marriage has a chance to be awesome and fulfilling.
Hi, I'm Pesa.
And you can find both of us on Twitter. I'm at Whitney Shayo.
And I'm at Pesa Shayo.
And where we love interacting with all of you guys. And you can also find us on the Live Your Best Marriage Facebook page as well, too, where we're constantly posting tips and encouragement for everybody out there.
Hi, on Live Your Best Marriage, we believe that every marriage has a chance to be awesome and fulfilling. And this has been actually a labor of love where we try as much as possible to give married couples tips on ways to stay connected to each other in these busy times where some of us are entrepreneurs, some of us have full-time jobs, but at the same time we still need to find ways to connect with our spouses.
That's right. And we've been together for 12 years now, and we've gone through some tough times, and we are real people just trying to help other real people.
Real people trying to help other real people. And for more information, you can always go to our blog at Live Your Best Marriage blog, where you can definitely find more information. Now, for today's podcast.
In today's episode, we've called it How to Stop Time in Its Tracks. And the reason is every family out there is super busy. And the question always is, how do we make more time to enjoy our spouse and our kids?
Really, how do we make more time to enjoy our spouses and kids? For most of us, it feels like we have more things to do in a day than the time that we have allocated.
And how do we get everything else that needs to be done too?
From dropping kids to school, going to work,
The household chores, the cooking, the cleaning,
the laundry,
the shopping.
and at the same time we need to watch TV, relax, play sports. How do we get all these things done in a day?
Well, we have experienced a lot of madness ourselves in our own house. We've had some hectic times trying to figure this out, and we would love to share with you guys some of the tips that we've discovered.
And Whitney, as a mom of 3 little girls and one on the way, how is this really possible? Can you really get time to spend with your husband just from after shuffling all the chores with the little kids?
Yeah, and actually what happened was, if you just take laundry for example, laundry was something that was never ending. It was an ongoing chore that I was constantly finding myself doing every single day. Until my husband here came up with a great idea to try to leverage it in a way that we do all of the laundry at once on one particular day, and then everything lasts for 2 weeks until it's time for it to be done again.
If you had seen what was going on in our house with the kids, the 3 kids, constant laundry was being done. It felt that the laundry machine did not have any time to quit. It was constantly washing or drying. And I thought maybe there's an easier way. And one time I saw not very far away from our house, our laundromat, which was very clean. Wow. And I decided maybe to give this a try, where we can do the laundry every 2 weeks at the laundromat.
And so what we eventually came up with was he would wake up super early, like around 5 or 6 in the morning, and go ahead and take the entire household laundry to the laundromat and do it in about 2 hours. And then when he comes home with it, me and the kids and him all chip in folding and putting away. And actually he does most of the folding when he's still there. But that really helped, because if I just compare that to the way things were before, it was taking a really long time for everything to dry. And some of the stuff I was trying to find a place to hang it up so it could air dry, and it was it was just a big mess.
And for some people, they might not have some of these facilities we are talking, but this is just to give ideas and tips on how can we do things differently, because we got a lot of flack from some of our extended family members because this did not make sense according to the way we were raised. Did not make sense to go and do laundry at the laundromat. And this might not be an issue for you, but for us, we got a little bit of flack, but we proceeded, and we've seen that just by doing the calculations, we were using about 15 to 16 hours a week to do laundry when you add up all the loads and the drying and all that. But now it's like 3 hours every 2 weeks. So it's a huge savings of time. And that way my wife doesn't have that constant feeling that I still have to do laundry. Did I forget laundry in the dryer? Did I forget laundry in the washing machine? Even if you were helping with that, it just felt like it was a constant, unending process that had to be done.
Yeah, or when will I ever see the bottom of the hamper? Because that wasn't happening.
Now, for us, a family with three
girls who like to change their clothes frequently.
This seemed to have worked for us. So some of you might have done something like that in their homes, and you can always leave a comment and tell us how you've been able to save time, especially when it comes to laundry. I was talking to another couple, and they were saying that they just don't get their kids to change clothes that often. I wouldn't recommend that, but again, I have little girls and they just want to change, so
yeah, that's right. And so the reason why it's so much faster this way is because when he gets there, he can use the really huge machines, and then when it's time to dry, he usually takes up 10 dryers, which is okay because he's there at 6 a.m. when almost no one else is there, so there's plenty of space available and everything. And other things that we've also figured out, we kind of felt like grocery shopping was taking up some time.
Yes, grocery shopping has always been one of those things that I personally do not like, because again, I always think it's a hassle. And going to the store, getting the kids all rounded up, literally.
Yeah, you just don't like going to the store.
I don't like going to the store.
Yeah.
And especially when we get to the checkout, it seems at that time we are trying to do one thing, get checked out, but the kids are trying to do something else, get the candy, run away, just do so many other crazy things. And at that moment, the stress is so high, especially when the line is long and there's a lot of other people behind us. So we need to get this the checkout done quickly.
Yeah. There's either a huge line going on in the regular checkout, or we go to the self checkout, and and the kids are actually trying to beep the stuff, like scan everything for us, and then the little one is trying to climb out of the cart, and it gets pretty hectic. And we always seem to find ourselves there at peak times, which is interesting. And so what we've done at our house to make this better for us, and I hope that maybe some of these tips can be used at someone else's house too, is we found out that at Walmart you can actually...
There's something called Walmart Pickup, which is a grocery pickup service where you shop online, which is a huge convenience for us, shop online at walmart.com, and then you schedule a time to go and pick up your laundry. It's a free service in our area. I don't know how it is in other places. It's a free service in our area. So you go to Walmart, park your car outside, somebody actually meets you there, one of the employees, loads all these groceries into the trunk, and you're done. So it has really saved a lot of time for us.
That's right. Yeah, it's just amazing when we compare the way it was before, going to the store ourselves and all of the kids are climbing out of the cart and everything, and we're trying to find all the stuff we need. And then compared to this way, somebody is actually pulling the things off the shelf for us and bringing it to our car. And it's still pretty much the same price as what we were paying before. There's no extra fee for this. Again, in our area, I don't know if that's how it is for everybody, but even if there was a fee, we would not mind paying that at all.
And some friends of ours have also been able to use Amazon Prime to do their grocery shopping. And we were actually considering to do that, just buy stuff from Amazon. But we found out that they don't have some of the essentials we need, like milk, fruits, and just the veggies. So that was why we decided to do the Walmart instead of the Amazon Prime.
That's right. And then another really huge breakthrough that we've had at our house is we've been doing homeschooling Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And what we do is we do the work in 25-minute segments. And when the timer rings at 25 minutes, the kids know that they can have a 5 to 7 minute break. And then we all come back and do another 25 minutes of work. And so we have seen a lot of progress just in the way that the kids are working just by sticking to this schedule.
Yes, and some of you might know that is a Pomodoro. The Pomodoro concept of breaking tasks in 25 minutes chunks, and then you have a 5-minute break. And it has really worked for us when it comes to homeschooling.
That's right. And so hopefully what we'll be able to do is apply this same type of scheduling to other things that we need to be doing. And because I think something that we've struggled with is actually sticking with some of the plans that we make or sticking with some of our goals. But honestly, from what we're finding out with this is it's really a matter of scheduling. I mean, as long as you stick to that, what's on your calendar, I think that's half the battle right there.
Yes, that's half the battle. And just doing things in little chunks of 25 minutes, it actually makes it doable for us as the parents who are teaching and the kids who are learning from us, instead of having these 40 minutes to 50-minute lessons, which after a while the teacher tunes out and the kid tunes out. I mean, it doesn't work out. So it keeps everybody excited, keeps everybody in high energy, and they are looking forward to learning because they know it's not going to last forever.
But at the same time, it gives everybody that consistency that we all need.
And that's a huge thing, the consistency. So do you have any other tips, time-saving tips that you have started to implement?
Yeah, one other one that we started to use is we try to cook more food on certain days and then freeze some of it if possible so that we can just eat it later throughout the week. And then that way we're not just constantly in the kitchen trying to come up with a whole meal from scratch.
And that coming up with the whole meal from scratch, we find that it takes not only time, but you feel overwhelmed faster. But when we really looked at it, we found that the foods we eat are we don't have a lot of variety. It's pretty much, it's about the same foods over and over. So maybe 5 to 10 ingredients, but that's what pretty much what we get.
Yeah, we've pretty much cut meat at our house. We don't really, I mean, because that takes longer to prepare, or it did for me, because I would have to defrost and then boil it and whatnot. But now we're mostly using veggies, and we have rice and pasta and things like that. So one thing that we did this week was we cooked a bunch of rice and then we put it in the freezer. And so when it's time to eat, we've just been defrosting that. And then we're able to cook, if it's beans or lentils or whatever, if it's a vegetable, whichever it is, that doesn't take very long at all to prepare. And so that has really, really helped, especially helped me not feel quite as drained. Because believe me, I do love cooking for my family, but I think with this whole pregnancy thing, it's extra daunting on certain days. I feel so short of breath, and I don't even feel like going to the kitchen at all.
Yes, and to some people it might be different, or like, oh hey, we don't want to eat that kind of food. And this is not to specifically say that this is a food you need to eat, but just to give you ideas to say, hey, maybe you can try to look at the whole cooking process differently. That way you are not constantly every evening asking yourself, what are we having for dinner? How are we gonna cook? We don't have the ingredients. Just think in advance, and that might actually cut some of the time that you use, and then you can use that to do other things with your family, or just hang out with your family.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely. Just whatever you can figure out that works for you. I don't think the type of food really makes that much difference, but certainly if you have a way of freezing things and saving it for later on throughout the week, that has been such a huge help. And then also snacks. The kids are always asking for a snack, and so just being able to make muffins or cookies or something homemade, I definitely prefer over the store-bought snacks. And so we've been able to freeze things like that as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to just doing more things like that, coming up with more recipe ideas that can be used that way.
And we always are looking for ideas from our listeners on what you guys have been doing in order to be able to save more time, or just find time to make things less stressful, so they can just hang out more, or just spend more time on things that you really care about. So if you have anything that you've done differently, or this gives you an idea on how to do things differently, you can always leave us a comment, or also you can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, or at the website.
Yeah, everybody's ideas are certainly welcome. I think definitely there are other things that we're exploring. For you and I work from home, and so that's our next big thing that we're going to tackle. And definitely, if anybody has any suggestions out there at all, anybody who runs their own business from home and they have small children, we would love to hear from you, because we're definitely in the process of trying to set up a type of schedule with certain blocks of time that we can get work done, just to be a little bit more efficient. But other than that, we're just going to keep looking for new things we can try and share them with you guys.
Folks, this was another episode of the Live Your Best Marriage podcast, where we believe that every marriage has a chance to be awesome and fulfilling. And what we do is just give you tips on what we've done to help our marriage get better. And if that can help you guys, can help spruce up your marriage, we will really enjoy that. So if you guys have any comments, you can always shoot us an email or a message. That way we can know that this content is actually helping folks out there.
That's right. Yes, we're always looking forward to hearing back from you guys. And thank you so much for listening. Until next time.
Until next time.